When I was pastor in a un-air-conditioned church, I would try to pick out the hottest weekend of the summer and give what came to be known as the summer sermon. We are air-conditioned, but I'm going to give the summer sermon today so I can spend time telling you about an exciting project we're undertaking here at Christ the King. So here's the sermon. It only takes 2 sentences. Whatever you're doing right, keep it up. Whatever you're doing wrong, knock it off. Usually on the first or second weekend in July, I stand before you and ask for your help in our annual collection called We Are Family. You may have noticed that the annual financial statement, which is usually sent out with the appeal for We Are Family, was in the bulletins last week. And if you missed it, there are a few extra copies at the doors. I hope that if you have read the report, you'll agree that it was a very positive one. Income was up, expenses were down. Doesn't get any better than that. I thank you for your ongoing support and for the advice given to me by members of our Parish Finance Council. And if you're on our regular mailing list, you received a letter from me this past week indicating that we were going to suspend the annual campaign this year. In place of it, we're conducting a capital campaign. And to suspend the annual collection is significant. Last year, it brought in almost $270,000. But I'm confident that we can sustain a one-time loss in our operating budget in the expectation that we can collect hopefully 4 times that amount in a capital campaign. And that will require a generous response from all. I'm becoming your favorite pen pal because I'm going to send you something again this week. This week there'll be a brochure which will give you some pictures of some of the specifics of our plans. And we'll put out extra copies next week for those who are visiting or simply are not on our mailing list. At the same time, you'll receive a pledge envelope similar to the ones that we use for our annual collection, but with the request that you simply not repeat what you do for the annual collection, but increase it as substantially as you might. And the information that's there and the information I'm going to talk about this afternoon is also found on the website. So you can go click on that and see it in more detail. And on the last weekend of this month, the 31st and the 1st, after all the masses, we'll have receptions in the hall where there'll be larger renderings and maybe a ongoing PowerPoint presentation so you become more familiar with it. And the members of the fundraising committee would be available with myself to answer any questions. The project really is a mixture of work we just have to do. We don't have a choice. And then work that we can do because of the nature of the renovation. It all starts with the pews. It's what you're sitting on. You might look to see if there are any failures in the pew in front of you, and then don't jump on the person in front of you. It's a design flaw that we've been dealing with for years. The seat is made of plywood or particle board, and it has the upholstery on top of it, but it's just screwed in to the back of the pew. So they're failing. And we brought in experts and said, how can we fix this? And all of them said, the only real long-term solution is to replace the pews. It took a long time for that to sink in to my head. I come from a church in Taunton that has the pews of 150 years ago. They're all still fine, but they were solid oak. They're not particle board. There's also an issue on the longer pews over here. there are 8-foot sections of the plywood, so it's also failing this way as well. The new pews will look almost like these pews. They'll be a little different on the end, but they'll be a much sterner construction, and I think that a lot of people will like this. The kneelers will be much more comfortable. They'll actually have padding in it. Well, once you get the pews up and out, you look at the carpet. And unlike the pews, which I'm surprised that it's not lasted longer, the carpeting owes us nothing. It's been there 21 years. And you know from a heavy trafficking area in your own house, this type of carpeting doesn't last all that long. So depending on where you are, you can see the stains and you can see the wear and tear. We are going to replace the carpet under the pews and in the sanctuary, but in the aisles and in the heavy traffic area, we're going to put down some non-skid ceramic tile so that they won't have to be replaced in any of our lifetime. That should last for a long time.